All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first discussion. And in today's lecture, I'm going to give you a review of what is matter, energy, and measurement. I am sure naman that most of you or all of you are aware of what is matter, what is energy, and how to compute. No? Even though I am sure that not all of you came from STEM, but don't worry, no, don't worry because we are going to make it uh, good, or we're going to make it adaptable for everyone so that you will be able to understand the concepts, no, of chemistry. Kahit naman kayo ay hindi STEM student, I am sure that you have your chemistry classes way back when you were in your junior high school. Okay? So in this video, this will be just a short video, no? And I'm going to review the concepts, no? Let's review the concepts of matter, energy, and measurement. Okay? So, for our discussion in this video or in this lecture, our learning objectives are as follows. Number one, we're going to discuss the concepts of general and inorganic chemistry, which includes the matter, no, the energy, and the measurement. And as much as after that, no, we are going to solve chemical equations, no, and stoichiometric problems. Okay, so this is our goal for today. That's our goal for the rest of the discussion. For you to understand and discuss the basic concepts of inorganic and uh, general chemistry, as well as to solve chemical equations. Okay, so the overview will be chemistry, scientific notation, states of matter, as measurements, heat, and temperature. The question is, why study chemistry? Why is it important for you as a medical technologist or medical laboratory scientist student, no, to study chemistry? No? Take note, guys, chemistry is important in the field of medical laboratory science because number one, chemistry is everywhere. No? Although it's a very simple, generic explanation, but that's true. We need to accept the fact that chemistry is everywhere. What does it mean? Everything that is happening, that is occurring in our surrounding, is a part of chemistry. Even the COVID-19 is a part of chemistry. No? Yung mga protein complexes ng viron, ng COVID-19 or ng coronavirus 2 is part, no, of chemistry. And as a medical laboratory scientist student, it is important for you to know the basic concepts of chemistry because as we discussed last time during our course orientation, we said that this course is your foundation course, your foundation chemistry for all your chemistry courses. It's part of the medicine. And I want you to remember that, guys, that chemistry will always be an important part in the advancement of medical field. The medical field won't be possible without the uh, contribution or without the existence of what we call chemistry. So, ibig sabihin, mahalaga pala talaga siya. No? It is important even though that you are not a chemical engineering student, you are not a pharmacist, chemistry will be part of our life as a medical laboratory scientist. Okay, so when we said chemistry, we said that when you were in high school, no, that chemistry is anything with space and weight. No, that is deals with the science with mass and takes space. But aside from that, chemistry also involves the study of the properties of the compounds, the structure of the compounds, and the transformation of the compounds. When we said structure, ano ba siya? Is it a covalent or ionic compound? Is it a composed of hydrogen? It is composed of carbon. May nitrogen ba siya dyan? That will be the structure. Is it a tetrahedral? Okay? Is it a planar, triagonal? No, those are the structures, no, that is also be a part of chemistry properties. What are the physical properties, chemical properties that is part of chemistry? And as we go along, we are going to discuss all of those things. Okay? So chemistry can change from one to another. Remember guys, that is what we call transformation. Chemistry is capable of transforming from one to another. Meaning to say, from one property or from one state into another state. From one composition into other composition. And that is what we call physical change and chemical change. Okay? On your screen, now in this video, we have here two illustrations. Number one is the eyes. Now, an eyes. And the other one is a chemical equation or balancing equations. But take note of this. Ano yung pinakikita? What does this picture shows? Number one, if you're going to think of it, the eyes on the right side of the screen represents a physical change. And when we said physical change, there is a change on the physical state, but not on the chemical composition of a substance, of a compound. Ice is a water in solid state. It is composed of hydrogen and oxygen molecules. Ice transformed into a liquid form is still a water. What is the distinct characteristic? Ano yung nagkaiba? Nag-change siya from one state to another state. From being a solid to liquid. But still, the composition is intact. The composition remains as is. Unlike when we said chemical change. When we said chemical change, there is an alteration. There is a different composition. Nagkameron na ng pagbabago in the composition of matter. Let's say, for example, in this equation, C3H8, that is our propane, in reaction with oxygen, a gas. Both of them is a gas. No? When we said propane C3H8, that is the most common gas or form of gas that can be found in the liquefied petroleum gas or mga LPG natin sa mga bahay. Okay? And this reaction is what we call combustion. Now, a gas in the presence of an oxygen is a type of combustion. And there are different types of chemical reactions. We have single displacement, double displacement, synthesis, and dissociation. And of course, acid and base reaction as well as the combustion. Now, having said that this is combustion, I want you to take note and I want you to remember, people, that combustion will be possible in the presence of oxygen. Okay? Combustion, presence of oxygen. Next, when we're going to say, or when we see any chemical reactions like this, no, remember guys that combustion, the product of combustion will always be carbon dioxide and water. Take note of that. The product of your combustion will always be water and carbon dioxide. Now, the number of moles produced will be dependent on the reactants. However, C3HO, C3H8O2 gives you carbon dioxide and water is not in the balanced state. Okay? Remember, we have what we call the law of conservation of mass, which states that the mass of the product should be the same mass of your reactant. That's why balancing equation in chemistry is important. The question is, do we have a balanced equation. So wala. Okay, this is not a balanced equation. Then we are going to balance it. Okay? So how are we going to balance this one? So again, recall your chemistry course when you were in high school, junior high school, or senior high school, and I want you to balance this reaction. I'm going to post a forum in our learning management system, and then you have to post your answer on that forum. Okay, again, balance this reaction, and your answer should be posted in our open forum in the learning management system. Okay? So that is chemical change. That is the difference between physical and chemical change. Again, physical change, there's just a different or transformation from one state to another. When we said chemical change, there is an alteration on the chemical composition of the matter. Okay? So scientific method is the scientific way of providing a discussion. So we have the fact, we have hypothesis, we have theory. Okay? Ngayon, remember, kapag fact, it is based on the experimentation. No? It is truth. Hypothesis, it's just your guess. It's just your statement without having an experimentation. Let's say, for example, you're going to work in a research about tawa-tawa in reaction to dengue fever. What will be your hypothesis? Tawa-tawa extract will be good or will have a thrombocytic effect, no, in patient with dengue fever. So this is your hypothesis. Theory, no, that is your statement na meron ka na ng test. However, no, the result of your experimentation contradicts your hypothesis. Okay? So that is our scientific method. So alam na natin yan. Observation, direct observation about the behavior of matter. Law summarizes and explain wide range of observation. Theory, a unifying principle that explains a body of observation, and the laws based on them suggest a new experiment. Okay? And when we said experimentation, if experiments contradict the theory, then the theory must be modified. So that's our scientific method. Next is another important concept in chemistry is the exponential notation or the scientific number. No? Ano bang ibig sabihin nito? Why is it important for us? Scientific notation will help us to take note, no? Will help us to take note the number, no? To express the number, no, na malaki or maliit. To express very large and very small number in a power of 10. Example, 0.0002 will be expressed as 2.0 times 10 raised to negative 5. So, paano po natin siya nagawa? Sir, bakit po yung 0.0002, okay, is synonymous to 2.0 times 10 raised to 5. So, we have here 0.00002, no? So remember, we're going to move the decimal places at the decimal place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2.0 times 10 raised to negative 5. Okay? If you move your decimal places to the left, then the power or the exponential should be in a positive notation. Example, yung isa, yung number 2. 2 2 million. So how are we going to do that? No? How are we going to express that in scientific notation? So we have here 2 million, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have here 2.0 times 10 raised to 6. That is the scientific notation. Just a review. I am sure and I am aware that all of you knows how to express and how to write numbers in scientific notation. Hey, so let's just an example. Okay, so this is the metric system. Example tayo. Before we will go back here, let's just have a sample. Where's that? Yan. Okay, example number 1. 4.73 times 10 raised to 5 times 1.37 raised to 10 raised to 2. So the answer will be 6.48 times 10 raised to 7. Don't worry guys. Hindi po ipinagbabawal ang paggamit ng calculator. You are allowed to use calculator unless otherwise you want to solve this very large and very small numbers without using your calculators. Again, you are allowed to use your calculators unless otherwise you don't want to use it. Another example, number 2. 2.7 times 10 raised to negative 4 times 5.9 times 10 raised to 8. The answer will be 1.59 times 10 raised to 5. Next, we have 7.08 times 10 raised to negative 8 divided by 300. The answer will be 2.6 times 10 raised to negative 10. Next, 5.8 times 10 raised to negative 6 divided by 6.6 times 10 raised to negative 8. The answer will be 3.8 times 10 raised to negative 20. Okay? So we have the metric systems. For length, we have meter. For volume, liter. For mass, that will be gram. For time, that will be second. For temperature, that will be Kelvin. And for the amount of substance, that will be mole. Okay, so these are the prefixes used in the metric system. I want you to take note of this, and I want you to remember this one. Okay, significant figures. Let's just have a review of your significant figures. Again, non-zero digits are always significant. Non-zero digits are always significant. That is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Those number will always be a significant figure. Zeros at the beginning of a number are never significant. Again, zeros at the beginning of a number are never significant. For example, in number 1, 0.0055 liter, how many significant figures do we have? 2, the 55. Next, we have 0.000445. How many significant figures? Okay, 4. Remember, zeros at the beginning of a number are never significant. Next, zeros at the end of a number that contains a decimal point are always significant. Zero at the end of number that contains a decimal point is significant. In this case, 3.00, that is 3 significant figures. So please take note of that. Another one is 0 at the end of the number that contains no decimal point may or may not be significant. Okay, remember, zeros at the end of the number that contains no decimal point may or may not be significant. Okay, so now we have here the metric and English system, and this will be useful. Okay, tandaan po ito because this will be useful in your conversions. Okay, I repeat, please take note of your conversion factors. Kasi po, kapag mag-e-exam tayo, you are not allowed to look on your conversion factors. So by now, remember this because even na pag dumating na kayo ng higher chemistry, you will know these conversion factors. Okay? So what is the difference between mass and weight? When we said mass is a quantity of object in an mass is a quantity of matter in an object that is independent of location, while the weight is a result of mass acted upon gravity. So, ibig sabihin, yung weight po natin, naaapektuhan siya ng ating gravitational force. No? Naapektuhan po ang weight ng gravitational force na tinatawag natin. Okay, temperature can be expressed into degree Fahrenheit and degree Celsius. Take note, kapag po sinabi nating degree Fahrenheit, that is defined by setting the normal freezing point of water at 32 degrees Celsius and boiling point of water at 212 degree Fahrenheit. 32 degree Fahrenheit, that is the freezing point, while the boiling point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. Remember people that degree Fahrenheit is equals to 9 over 5 times degree Celsius plus 32. 9 out of 5 times degree Celsius plus 32. When we said degree Celsius naman, setting the normal freezing point of water at 0 degree Fahrenheit, 0 degree Celsius, and normal boiling point at 100 degrees Celsius. Now, the question is, at what temperature ay parehas ang degree Fahrenheit at degree Celsius? What I mean is, at this certain temperature, the numerical value of degree Fahrenheit and degree Celsius is the same. Ano po yun? That will be negative 40 degree Fahrenheit, negative 40 degree Celsius. Parehas po sila. Try to convert. Try to solve for that. Okay? Next, we have here factor conversion. Pag sinabi natin factor conversion, or conversion factor, a ratio of two different units used as multiplier to change from one system or unit to another. A ratio of two different units used as multiplier to change one system or unit to another. Example, okay? Convert 381 grams to pounds. Okay? Please get your calculator, no? And remember your conversion factor. The question is, convert 381 grams to pounds. So how are we going to solve for that? Okay? How are we going to solve for that? Again, we have here 381. 381 grams is our given. We have to convert it into pounds. Okay? How are we going to do that? Take note of the conversion factor. Ano po yung conversion factor natin? Our conversion factor is 1 pound is equals to 453.6 grams. Take note, again, 1 pound is equivalent to or equals to 453.6 grams. Hey, so having said that we have here 381 grams, then we have to convert it into pounds. Remember kung what is the unit on your numerator, no? Yun ang unit na ilalagay mo on your denominator. If you have here grams, then you should have here your grams so that you can cancel the unit. Okay? So we have here 1 pound is equal to 453.6. So 381 grams times 1 pound over 453.6 grams. Again, cancel the unit, grams, grams, and you are left with pound. 381 times 1 is 381. Divided by 453.6 will give you 0.8394, I'm sorry, 0.83994 pounds. Okay? 0.83994 pounds. Okay? Following the significant figures, the correct significant figures, then we have 0.840 pounds. Sir, bakit po naging 840? This is 9. This is 9. Remember the rule of rounding off? Kapag sinabi nating rounding off, kapag greater than 5 plus 1. So instead of saying 83994 pounds, we can say that 381 grams is equivalent to 0.840 pounds. Okay? So that's how we solve our problem. The other problem says is we have now 100. Yan. We have here 1.844 gallons. Okay? This time, we are going to convert 1.844 gallons to millimeters. Again, 1.844 gallons into millimeters. Please get your calculator and your paper and solve this one. So, paano po natin siya isosolve? 1.844 gallons to milliliters. Again, so we have here 1.844 gallons times 3.785 liters over 1 gallons. Okay? Times 1,000 ml over 1 liter. So, ibig sabihin, there are two conversion factors na ginamit po natin. What are those? Number one, we said that 1 gallon, is equivalent to 3.785 liters. And 1 liter is equals to 1,000 ml. So why we need to convert it further? Because the problem says, or the problem requires you to convert your problem to milliliters, gallons to milliliters. So cancel gallons, cancel liters, cancel liters. So we have 1.844 gallons times 3.785 times 1,000, which gives us 6979.54 ml. Okay? 6979.54 ml, following the significant figure that will be 6980 ml. Ibig sabihin po, no? Therefore, we can say that 1.44 gallons is equivalent to 6,980 ml. Okay? 6,980 ml ang 1.844 gallons. Okay? So next, what the maximum speed limit of many roads in the United States is 65 miles per hour. How many meters per second is the speed? I repeat, the maximum speed limit of many roads in the United States is 65 miles per hour. How many meters per second is this speed? Again, get your paper and we're going to solve. Ang sabi daw, the maximum speed is at 65. I'm sorry. The maximum speed is at 65. So we have 65 miles per hour. Per hour. No? That is the maximum speed in United States. We are required to convert it into meter per second. So again, convert miles. So ano gagawin natin? Miles to kilometers. Kilometers to meters. R to minutes. And then minutes to second. Because we are required to have it in meters per second. So how are we going to do that? Okay, so please solve. We have here 65 miles per hour. Ayan, sorry. I'm sorry. 65 miles per hour times 1.609. Okay, 1.609 is the conversion factor, kilometers over 1 miles, or 1 mile rather, times 1,000 meter over 1 kilometer times, times 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes times 1 minute is equivalent to 60 seconds. Okay, so this will be our equation. 65 miles per hour times 1.609 kilometer over 1 mile times 1,000 meter over 1 kilometer times 1 hour over 60 minutes times 1 minute over 60 seconds. We can now cancel the same unit. Miles, miles, kilometer, kilometer. Okay? R, R, minute, minute. We are left with meter per second. Is that our final unit? Yes. We are required to convert it into meter per second. So we can now multiply 65 times 1.609 times 1000 times 1 times 1 over 60 times 60 will give us 29.05 meter per second, or we can say that the normal speed limit, okay, in United States is 29 meters per second. Therefore, 29 meters per second is equivalent to 65 miles per hour. We cannot say that 65 miles is higher than 29 meters per second. They are just the same. We just quantify the equation using different expressions, using different units. But at the end of the day, they are still the same. Okay? So that is what we call uh, multiple conversion or using our conversion factors. This one, a physician recommends adding 100 grams of morphine to 500 cc of IV fluid. When you said IV, that means intravenous. Okay? And administering it at a rate of 20 cc per hour to elevate the patient's pain. Determine how many grams per second is or the patient is receiving. Again, the problem says a physician recommends adding 100 grams of morphine to 500 cc of IV fluid and administering it at a rate of 20 cc per hour to elevate the patient's pain. Determine how many grams per second the patient is receiving. So how are we going to solve for that? Again, ano po yung mga given natin? 100 mg, 500 cc, okay? 200 cc, no? At ang tinatanong sa atin is how much is the grams per second, okay? So how are we going to solve for that? So we have 100 grams, 100 milligrams over 500 cc. So saan po nanggaling yung 100 milligrams? 100 milligrams is the morphine to be added in 500 cc of your IV fluid, yung dextrose na nandun sa pasyente. Okay? Times 20 cc over 1 hour. So saan po nanggaling yung 20 cc? Ang sabi, administration rate of 20 cc per hour times 1 gram over 1,000 milligrams. Okay, to cancel milligrams. Can we now cancel cc? Yes. Take note guys, 1 cubic meter is equivalent to 1 ml. 1 cc is equivalent to 1 ml. Okay, going back to our problem, times 1 hour over, oh, this is hour. I'm going to rewrite it. Okay, 1 hour over 60 minutes times 1 minute over 60 seconds. So, sir, bakit po ganun? Ang sabi, again, the problem is, a physician is requesting to add 100 milligrams of morphine to 500 cc IV to be given at a rate of 20 cc per hour to elevate the pain of the patient. How much is that in grams per second? So, we can now cancel here your minute, hour, or so 100 times 20 times 1 times 1 over 500 times 1000 times 60 times 60, that's gonna be 1.1 times 10 raised to negative 6 grams per second is the amount of morphine being received by the patient. Para saan po yung morphine? Morphine is an example of a pain reliever. No? Morphine, I'll write it legibly. Morphine is an example of pain reliever, steroidal pain reliever. Okay? So, again, the answer will be 1.1 times 10 raised to negative 6. That is the amount of, no, it's the amount of morphine being received by the patient per second. All right. Next is the states of matter. So alam na alam niyo naman yan. What are the states of matter? We have the solid, liquid, and gas. Okay, so density is the ratio of mass to volume. Thus we said density is equals to m over v. Okay, so example, if 73.2 ml of liquid has a mass of 61.5 grams, what is the density? Again, so we have, okay, so we have here density is equals to mass over volume. Ang mass daw natin is 61.5 grams and our volume is 73.2 ml. So that will be 0.840 grams per ml. That is our density. Next, we have ayan, another one. The density of titanium is 454 grams per ml. What is the mass in grams of 17.3 ml titanium? Okay. This time, no, this time, given ang ating density. Okay? And we are looking for the mass of the titanium. Okay. Again, density is 4.54 grams per ml. Volume is equals to 17.3 ml. We said that density is equals to mass over volume. By simply, no, by simply representing our formula, so we have 4.54, no, we have 4.54 grams per ml is equals to x over 17.3 ml. We are looking for x, right? We are looking for the mass, not your x, huh? We are looking for the value of x, not your x. Then, multiply both sides by 17.3 ml. So this will be cancelled, this will be cancelled. X is equals to 17.3 ml times 4.54 grams per ml. ml will be cancelled, then X is equals to 78.5 grams. Okay? X will be equals to 78.5 grams. So this will be, okay, this will be the mass of titanium whose volume is 17.3 ml with a density of 4.54. How about this one? The density of iron is 7.86 grams per cubic meter. What is the volume in milliliters of an irregularly shaped piece of iron that has a mass of 542? Again, ang nawawala naman po dito is your volume. You have your mass. You have your density. Our density is 7.86 grams per cubic meter. Remember guys that cubic meter is usually referred to the density of gas. However, like what we have said a while ago, 1 cubic meter is equivalent to 1 ml. Therefore, we can simply say that the density is 7.86 grams per ml. The volume is, the mass is 524 grams. So we have 7.86 grams per ml, no, times, is equals to 4, 52, ano ba? I'm sorry. So again, our density is 7.86 grams per ml is equals to, our mass is 542 grams over volume. This time, let's represent our volume by x. Okay? So we have here, okay, multiply both sides by x to cancel the x here. So we have 7.86 grams per ml x is equals to 542 grams. Divide both sides by 7.86, no? 7.86 grams per ml. This will be cancelled. This will be cancelled. X grams will also be cancelled. Then we have x is equals to 542 divided by 7.86 ml, which gives you, which gives us, what's the answer? 66.7 ml. No? 66.7 ml. This will be the volume of our object with a mass of 524 with a density of 7.86 grams per cubic meter or 7.86 grams per ml. Okay, how about specific gravity? Specific gravity, ano po yung difference or what is the difference between the specific gravity and density? When we said specific gravity, take note, no? Take note. Kapag po sinabi nating specific gravity, that is a density of a substance compared to the density of water, which is standard. Ano po ba yung density ng water? 1 gram per ml. Therefore, we don't have unit in specific gravity. Example, the density of copper at 20 degrees Celsius is 8.92 grams per ml. The density of water at this temperature is 1 gram per ml. What is the specific gravity of copper? By simply dividing 8.9 gram per ml to 1.00 gram per ml, no? Then we will have 8.92. Then that is the specific gravity. Okay, that's it. As simple as that. Specific gravity is just the density of the object compared to the density of water. How about this one? How many calories are required to heat 352 grams of water from 23 degrees Celsius to 95 degrees Celsius? The specific heat of water is 1 calorie per gram times degree Celsius. Okay? So this time, we are going to compute for the amount of calories. Okay? And remember, calories is heat. So what will be our formula? Okay? What will be our formula? Remember people that the amount of heat, okay, the amount of heat, yeah, the amount of heat is equals to SH times M times delta T. Ano po yung ibig sabihin ng SH dito? SH stands for specific heat. M stands for mass in grams. Delta T is change. No? Change in temperature. Ibig sabihin, T2 minus T1. Okay, so that will be our formula. The formula again is amount of heat is equals to specific heat times mass times change in temperature. Okay? Having said that this is our formula, then let's apply. Our problem states that how many calories are required to heat 352 grams of water from 23 degrees Celsius to 95 degrees Celsius. The specific heat of water is 1 calorie per gram times degree Celsius. Okay? So, again, we are looking for our amount of heat. Okay? We are looking for the amount of heat. Sabi natin, amount of heat is SH, M times delta T, T2 minus T1. So what is our amount of heat? Amount of heat is X. That is what we are looking for. What is our specific heat? Given on the problem, 1.00 calorie per gram degree Celsius. What is our mass? 352 grams. What is our T2? Our T2 is 95 degrees Celsius. Our T1 is 23 degrees Celsius. So having said that this is our equation, then let's have it solved. Cancel ang grams. Cancel ang grams. This is degrees Celsius. Cancel. Cancel. We are left with calorie. 1 times 352 times the difference between 95 and 23. So we have here 1x is equals to 1 calorie times 352 grams times 95 minus 23 is 69. Ano? 95, 92. I'm sorry. Yeah, 95. 95 minus 23 is 52. Okay? That is, no. 95 minus 23 is 95 minus 23, 2972. I'm sorry. Okay? So we have 72. Oh, grams is also cancelled. So we have 1 times 352 times 72. That's gonna be 25,000. Oh, the amount of calories is 25,344. Okay? 25,344, or simply we can say that is equivalent to 2.5 times 10 raised to 4. Okay? 2.5 times 10 raised to 4 calories. So, ibig sabihin, no, the amount of heat needed, no, the amount of heat needed to change to change the temperature is 2.5 times 10 raised to 4 calories. Okay, how about energy? When we said energy, energy can be in form of kinetic energy or potential energy. And what is the difference between kinetic and potential? Again, pag sinabi natin kinetic, the energy in motion. Kapag sinabi natin na potential, that is the energy an object has because of its position. Okay? So, we said that kinetic energy is equals to 1 half mv squared. Mass times velocity squared. Example, the kinetic energy possessed by an object with a mass of 1 gram moving with a velocity of 1 meter is 1 centimeter per second is called energy. What is the kinetic energy in ERGS of an athlete with a mass of 127 pounds running at velocity of 14.7 miles per hour? So how are we going to solve for that one? We have 14.7, no? We have 14.7 miles per 1 hour times 1.609 kilometer over 1 miles or 1 mile times 1,000 meter over 1 kilometer times 100 centimeter over 1 meter times 1 hour over 60 minute times 1 minute over 60 seconds. Cancel miles, cancel miles, cancel hour, kilometer, kilometer, meter, meter, okay, minute, minute. We have here your centimeter and second. Take note, yung mass natin is in pounds. So we have 127 pounds times 453.6 grams over 1 pound. Cancel ang pound, cancel this one. So we have 5.76 times 10 raised to 4 grams. Okay? This one, the answer will be 14.7 times 1.069 times 1,000 times 100 divided by 60 times 60 will give you what? This will give you 657 centimeter per second. Applying the formula, kinetic energy, no? Kinetic energy is equals to 1/2 mv squared, okay? mv squared. Therefore, we have 5.76 times 10 raised to 4 grams times 657 centimeters second squared will give you what? This will give you 1.24 times 1.24 times 10 raised to 10 grams per centimeter squared per second squared, which is equivalent to 1.24 times 10 raised to 10 times 10 raised to 10 energy. Okay? So that will be the kinetic energy of our athlete. Okay, so heat and temperature. Heat is a form of energy. Remember, commonly measured in terms of calories. Again, 1 calorie is equivalent to 4.184 joules. Okay? So this is the specific heat. Ito po yung mga ginamit natin kanina. Don't worry because this table will be given to you naman. No? I will give you the specific heat in our problem set. Huwag pong mag-alala, this will be given to you. Okay? Example, if we add 450 calories of heat to 37 grams of CH3, that is our ethyl, at 20 degrees Celsius, what is the final temperature? Again, the problem says, if we add 450, no? If we add 450 calories of heat to 37 grams of ethyl alcohol or ethyl at 20 degrees Celsius, what is the temperature? I'm sorry, that is not ethyl, it's ethane. But kindly correct that one. That should be, please correct this one. CH3, please correct that one because that should be ethyl. Okay, ethyl will be CH3, CH2OH. Okay, please correct the CH3 to CH3, CH2OH. Okay, that will be our ethyl or ethanol. Now, ang sabi ay CH3C2OH daw ay anong temperature ang kailangan? Okay? What is the temperature required no, the final temperature needed if we add 400 calories to heat 37 grams of ethanol. Again, please correct the CH3 to CH3CH2OH. So how are we going to solve for that? Simply we have 450 calories is equals to 0.59 calorie per gram degree Celsius, that is the specific heat of ethanol, times 37 grams times T2 minus T1. For 50 calorie is equals to 0.59 calorie per gram degree Celsius, 37 degree, so cancel grams, no, times T2 minus T1. Simply multiply or divide rather both sides by this one. So we have T2 minus T1. Okay, we have T2 minus T1 is equals to 450 calorie over 0.59 calorie degree Celsius times 37. Cancel calorie, cancel calorie. So 450 times 0.59 times 37, that is equivalent to 21 degrees Celsius, or I'm sorry, 20.61 degrees Celsius, or equivalent to 21 degree Celsius. That is our change in temperature. Okay, the change in temperature is 21 degree Celsius. Therefore, we can say that no, our T2 is 41. Okay, our T2 is 41. Our T1 is 20. 41 minus 20 will give you 21 degree Celsius. Hey, how about this one? I guess this will be our last problem. If we hit, no, if we hit 50 grams of unknown substance by adding 205 calorie and its temperature rises by 7 degrees Celsius, what is the specific heat? This time, ang hinahanap naman natin is the specific heat. So how are we going to solve for that? Again, specific heat is equal to, I'm sorry, amount of heat. Amount of heat muna tayo. Let's derive our formula. Said that no, amount of heat is equivalent to specific gravity, specific heat, specific heat times mass times change in temperature. Okay, this time, we are looking for the specific heat. We have the amount of heat which is 205 calories. SH times what is our mass? 50 grams. What is our change in temperature? We have your 7 degree Celsius. So SH is equals to 205 calorie over 50 grams times 7 degrees Celsius. Specific heat is equals to 0.59 calorie per gram degree Celsius. How come that we arrived in that answer? Simply 205 divided by the product of 50 times 7 will give you 0.59, and that will be the specific heat of this unknown substance. Okay, so that will be our uh, discussion for this topic. I hope that you learn and you recall on how to solve problems, on how to convert problems, no, on how to convert unit. Hey, if you have questions, clarifications, things to ask, please don't hesitate to message me and to inform me, no, kung ano po ang inyong mga tanong. Okay? Again, I will be giving another set of problems with explanation, and I want you to solve that on your own, and then check your answer by watching the provided pre-recorded lecture or video. Okay, so thank you, and I hope that you are all well.